I know this. Because on July 29th, Murray Energy won a case before the Supreme Court, and others were involved, called the Utility Act. Supreme Court, 5-4 decision, overturned what the Obama administration was doing. But what happened is I won the case, and we won nothing for America. Because what did I tell you? Obama's closed 411 plants. The states had to comply. In their state implementation plans, they call them. The utilities had to comply. So I won the case and won nothing. He's doing the same thing on the Clean Power Plan. They know exactly what they're doing. And this is something that hasn't been said in this conference that troubles me very much. Our American court system is not functioning anymore. It's far too slow. There's supposed to be checks and balances from the federal branch. There aren't any. And you see, the Obama administration knows this and uses this fact to the fullest. What a glorious mess we are getting into in this country. Again, we won the Utility Act on the basis that the Clean Air Act of '71 said you have to count the cost of the economy. You have to count job losses, what happens to the community. We won that case at the Supreme Court. One of my 5 cases against the Clean Power Plan is that very same argument. If the D.C. Court of Appeals follows the Supreme Court precedent, all of this global climate change stuff will be thrown out. But we got to have our day in court before they comply, because you know what? The Obama administration said, states, you've got to file your state implementation plan. Utilities, you've got to file your plan by 16. They're gaming again, and the courts are too slow. That checks and balances from the judicial system is not working, and we have a runaway executive branch. As an aside, so you know what it means to you, the Clean Power Plan will cost you $40 billion annually. Your electric bill will increase 1/3 by 2020 over what it already has. And 40 states will have double-digit increases, and New England, every state in New England is in that double-digit increase. Plus, the Clean Power Plan isn't workable. It's based on implausible and unrealistic assumptions for replacing affordable resources of electricity, because they're designed by the Obama EPA, and they don't have the competence or the expertise to be writing these rules. The costs of the Clean Power Plan are real. The environmental benefits are not. You can shut down every coal-fired power plant in America today, and you will affect our temperature 0.16%. I'm an engineer. I've studied climate change, global warming for 40 years. The scientists I listen to are in the mainstream. They don't have a political agenda. This isn't an environmental agenda. This is a political agenda. What did I say? A political power grab of America's power grid to get federal control to take away your freedoms. So the facts are, you can shut every coal-fired plant down and not affect the temperatures. China emits in 1 month 800 million tons of CO. The Clean Power Plan reduces the CO 550 million tons in a year. 800 million tons 1 month, 550 million tons in 1 year. Even if CO didn't do anything but help plants grow, and it wasn't bad for your health, which it isn't, it's insignificant. It's all political. But they're teaching it in the schools. We now have to teach a carbon footprint. There is no such thing as a carbon footprint. It's a politically created hoax. This alarmism contrived by our federal government is destroying your availability, your reliability and the cost of your electricity. There are many other areas that are trying to eliminate the use of coal. We typically mine 300 to 3,200 feet below the surface in my 17 mines, Utah to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and a lot of places in between. They've now passed a rule called the Stream Protection Rule that if there's a dry ditch on the surface, we can no longer mine, even though we're down there 1,000 feet. Okay? That's, you know about the waters of the United States and how bad that is for your farmers. But the coal industry, and we don't have all the allies that the waters of the United States has. We have no allies, just our industry, unless I can get out to folks like you and say, folks, this is what it means to you. Your low-cost electricity is being destroyed. You're going to flip the light switch on, and it's not going to be there. So, with the Stream Protection Rule, if we mine below a dry ditch on the surface, and underground mining of coal is the most environmentally acceptable way to mine coal. You don't even know we're down there. But he's eliminating it. This government is so out of control. People ask me, I'm soon to be 76 years old, and I'm working 80-hour weeks, and the government's creating that job for me because I have got 6,100 employees that are depending on me, and I can't quit because I see the destruction. Well, there's a press release attached to my remarks laying out on the table. I'm filing another lawsuit against the Obama administration, the Department of Interior, Office of Surface Money, on the Stream Protection Rule Monday. So you get a chance to see it before the media. How about that? And to try to shut them down. But you got to understand one other thing you don't see unless you live it every day like I do. The collusion between the radical environmental groups, the windmill makers, the crony capitalists, the solar panel makers, liberal elitists, some Hollywood characters, and the Obama administration. It's a revolving door. The people he appoints comes out of these movements and they go right back there. And there's collusion. I have litigation going on where we're undercovering. You think Hillary Clinton's emails are bad? You ought to see what we've uncovered between the U.S. EPA, the Department of Interior, the Department of Labor, and these organizations that are colluding with the government to snuff out reliable, low-cost electricity. It's all payback. It's all about money. But you see, we got it out there. It's in the courts, but the courts don't react. Obama knows that. The Speaker of the House bounced off of him. The whole country's bouncing off of him. Regal Obama has taken me back to 1776. And it started right here. Well, I'll continue to aggressively fight back against this political paragraph of the paragraph. By the way, it's in here somewhere. I want you all to know I'm an expert. The earth has cooled for 19 years this month. My last speech said 11 months. Now it's 19 years, 18 years and 11. It's cool. Obama went to Alaska. You got this glacier melting. It's been melting since 1815. What he didn't tell you was the Antarctic ice cap is larger than it's ever been since they started measuring it in 1979. It has nothing to do with what you do every day or human activity. It's a natural phenomenon. It's sunspots. It's the tilt of the earth. So he's up there lying to you. Again, in front of this glacier. We can't have this for our children. What he's doing is destroying the most poverty-stricken people in America. He's condemning them to abject poverty because the percentage that they're going to pay for the electricity is much higher than any of you in this room are going to pay. It's all upside down. It's all lies. Well, I'm going to fight back. But it's not just, think about this, folks, from what I'm seeing, it's not just reliable, low-cost electricity. It's your economic security in this country. It's your state sovereignty. It's federal control of traditional state functions. When they asked me to give this speech, I'd already given this speech umpteen times. They knew what I would say here. I didn't write it for you. I see what's going on. I know my industry, and I care about America. The American public generally does not react until there's a crisis. That's the sad part of America. And you know when that'll be? When they get cold in the dark. And the lights go out, the conference ends, microphone's dead, lights are out, no windows, let's go home. It's unfortunate that that's the way it'll probably be. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a human issue to me. You see, I know the names of many Americans whose jobs and family livelihoods are being destroyed as he appeases his radical environmentalist, liberal elitist, Hollywood character, and some unionist constituents. Who are these people? Ladies and gentlemen, they're my employees. They're my folks. They're my employees. I see their lives being destroyed. All they want to do is work in honor and dignity. And if they own anything, it's their homes. And when two of them in a coal mining community lose their homes, they've got no one to sell it to. That's all they own. If they own anything, it's that house. So these people that just want to work in honor and dignity go to the negative side of the ledger for the rest of their lives. And they just want to work. And this is not the America that I cherish. I'm not giving up, nor should you. We have the law. Unfortunately, we don't have the court system. We have the science. That I'm an expert on. We have the economics. That I know. And we have cold, hard energy facts. And we have the Constitution, if we can get the courts to uphold it. Our cause is right. It's right for industry, our communities in America. It's right for our children and our grandchildren. We must use these realities to fight our opponents' intent on destroying coal and our wonderful electric power grid for their own bizarre personal and political ends, and that's what it is. We must continue to do whatever we can to overcome the insanity of our current federal government. Again, I'm not running for anything. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Croc TV.